Hello, welcome to my newsletter and my video for this week. So I am actually filming this in my car, which I have never done that before. I'm right by the entrance to our property, Kamari of the Woods, and I don't know if you can see my companion. Hey, Charlotte. Hey, Char, come here. Charlotte. Hey, there she is. Charlotte is, we were just running an errand in town. Frankly, I don't like to drive that much because, these fossil fuels really ruin our environment. I don't have an electric car or even a hybrid. So I try to be really careful about how much I drive. And if I can take a train somewhere, I try to do that. So I wanted, and I also want to say that that's probably something I learned as a benefit of the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, was how little I needed to drive. I have very few miles on my car since 2020. And I think it did teach all of us a new way of communicating and working, definitely working from home. And of course, I work from my land, Kamari of the Woods, and a lot of my coaching is on a virtual platform. I use Zoom. So, guess what? It's my birthday on Saturday, August 5th. And I am very excited. I love birthdays and I love to celebrate that next trip around the sun and to also reflect on the trip I just took over the past year, the past 12 months. The ups and downs, the challenges, of course. Some of you have heard about those on my channel and in my writing. Lots of challenges with our retreat. But we're getting there, and I've learned so much, and I'm so appreciative for so many people, new people that I have been able to form relationships with who have helped me on this journey, and I'm just so grateful for that. And I also want to say that as I'm building a greater capacity in my life coaching practice with women, I just feel so committed to this kind of work. I was reflecting on when I actually began this kind of life coaching work. And I realized that it was during the pandemic as I witnessed, and I was running groups with women who clearly were trying to cope and trying to overcome different degrees of loss and change in their lives, not just as they age, but as a result, of course, of many transitions that they had to make in their lives because of the pandemic. Some of them had to make moves in their life, big moves. Some of them came to Vermont at that time just to be safe, from the COVID-19 pandemic. And other kinds of losses too. Some people lost their jobs, and that was a big part of their identity too. And then, of course, the tragic loss of people in their lives to either COVID or other kinds of illnesses. So I began doing this work and understanding more and more about how I could support individuals as they faced these enormous transitions around loss in their life. And of course, I created a program that probably all of you know about at this point. It's called the Wise Women Warriors Program. And it is a more consistent way to kind of look at what you need to overcome and kind of recharge and restart your life after you've experienced loss, whatever kind of loss that might be, but especially a loss that turns your life upside down and that maybe that grief lingers over months and months and possibly years and years, and you really can't figure out a way of moving past it. So here's what I want to say. On my birthday, I have one wish. And that wish is to reach more women with the work I do, but maybe with my program, maybe with individual coaching, whatever you need, whatever she needs out there in the world. I'm hoping to reach more people so that I can support you in this really complicated healing process. You may feel like you're making progress and able to kind of stop sleeping so much or stop eating so much, or, any kind of unhealthy coping strategies that you've suddenly found in your life. Maybe you're drinking too much, if you're able to just step away and witness what's happening, and commit to change, that is the first step. That is absolutely the first step, because I hear from a lot of women who are just not ready to create change in their lives and to write their next chapter of their life. It doesn't have to be a huge novel. You don't have to create a plan or a goal that's really too overwhelming for you. You don't have to, plan to sail around the world or anything. The next step that you take in your life to move forward, and remember whoever it is that you've lost or whatever that experience is like, but not to let it keep you stuck, stuck in that pattern of grief and loss, and to really lean into the story. The story is very important, and that's what we work with. We work with your narrative. I work with your narrative, but we work together on it. So my wish for my 69th birthday is to be able to help more of you move forward in your life. So one of the things I can offer you, of course, I've done this before, is a free conversation. It can be on Zoom. It can be on the phone if you want. Yeah, if you live near me, we could take a walk in my forest and have that conversation. But to have that conversation about what it is you need. I might not be the right coach for you, but I might have other recommendations that could support you. I'll do that for free because I really care about you. And I know for so many of you reading this and reading my newsletter, watching my videos, it takes that level of trust to be able to open up to a stranger. And I know that is the first step. And it might not, again, be working with me, but if I can help you, I definitely will. So the next piece of this gift I'm giving to myself for my birthday is to offer a 50% discount on my first module of my program, which is that place where you start your narrative and you start your story. We all have to do that. We have to kind of look behind us a little bit and reflect and contemplate some of our choices, not beating ourselves up by any means, but just being self-reflective. And that really supports you looking deeply within yourself at the particular loss you've experienced. And that moves us on into the program. Many of you have heard me talk about the art of forgiveness. It's really important, not just forgiveness, but also restitution in some way. Either forgiving yourself, forgiving another person, and being able to create an act of restitution. Because when we can do that in our lives and we put an action to it, it helps to move it outside of our bodies. And sometimes, we've hung on to this pain that grief has caused us, and it cripples us physically, not just emotionally in our lives, but we start to really get sick from it. So creating this action plan, which literally is about taking action steps, is critical to healing your grief. So that's my gift. My hope is to reach more of you. Contact me. I am going to put my cell phone in here. I will just say it out loud if you want to copy it down. 802 is my area code. 802-505-0574. You can text me. You can call me. Leave me a message. If I don't pick up, I might not have service at the time. And I will schedule a time to talk with you for free and try to give you a little piece of wisdom as to what I feel is your next step. And if it is part of my program for that first chapter, that first module of work in my program, 50% off. Okay, I hope that helps a little bit. I can't do everything for free. I do have to support myself too, and I do value the work I do. And I think if you speak to any of the women I work with, they would tell you the same thing. The transformation is so amazing, and it really is why I do this work and why I want to do more of it too, because we need that in our lives. We need a coach. We need a cheerleader on our side that sees us, right? Sees who we are, sees deeply inside our soul, and can make those recommendations and help us create those action plans. That's what I'm here to do. And if I can do it for you, I really hope you contact me. All right. Well, I am going to continue down my driveway with Charlotte. Hey, Char. Oh, she's laying down resting in the back seat. She's my companion in the car. My other dog, Sam, would be right here in my front seat if I take him for a ride. Charlotte is a little bit more car friendly, right, Char? Yeah. All right. I'm going to have a great celebration for my birthday, and I hope I hear from you. Happy birthday to me. Have a great weekend.